Hey guys, welcome back to Bali Life Unfiltered. In this week's episode, we're going to be giving you an insight into kind of our daily lives and how life in Bali differs from that of the Western world. And when we speak about that, it's going to be UK and Australia because that is our experience. And just to know that our experiences can obviously differ from anyone else that lives here because they are personal to us. So just something to bear in mind. Bali is kind of a bit of a expat bubble. There's lots of cultures and traditions and things here. So yeah, we're just going to be giving you an insight into how it differs because lots of people do ask us, how is Bali different? Like life seems very different to other people, especially like our friends and family back home.
Yeah.
So hopefully this gives you an insight. And before I guess we dive in, what like are the three main differences you would say for our life here compared to Australia and the UK?
I think for both of us probably is the weather, adjusting to the weather. We both come from kind of coldish places. Good old Melbourne, and it's windy. Multiple weather in one day. And here it's just pretty much the same every day, all day. But I'm still adjusting to the heat. Like there's times in the year where I want to leave because it's just the heat does get to you.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, totally. It does. Yeah, it's a lot. It can be quite tense in the humid parts of the year. It can be a lot, especially when you're driving around, when you're out and about. It feels more extreme, and actually, even inside your own villa, it can be intense.
It's tiring. I just feel tired.
But I mean, even though we complain, you can't really complain.
No.
You're in the heat and it's lovely. Yeah. But there is the adjustment to the weather. Yeah, for sure. It's just different.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
So what else?
The scooter, I think, scooter life, massive difference. So here, most people drive scooters like everywhere. There's still cars, but the roads are small. The roads are getting better, but infrastructure with roads, it's not great. There's potholes. There's like speed bumps. Oh my God, the speed bumps in Umla.
They added more.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like there's some traffic lights, but there's not a lot. And we take everything on the scooter. So we take the kids on the scooter in the mornings, like to school. We both put 2 on the scooters. Can you fit 4 on the scooter or no? 4?
Well, as in like me, Patrick and the kids? Yeah, you can fit 4 on there.
Yeah, we can still just fit.
Not on a scoopy.
Nah.
You need a bigger bike. Yeah,
which Scoopy is a smaller scooter. Yeah. I think you guys have NMAXs.
Yeah.
Or the size of one.
Yeah.
I have a Lexi, which is big-ish as well. But yeah, you hadn't driven scooters.
No, had never driven a scooter before coming here. So huge difference. You're used to driving a car everywhere in the UK. You need it. The weather's bad most of the time.
Exactly.
I don't want to be on a scooter. It's a huge adjustment. Like, and it's not something I had like preempted. I hadn't thought about it. I haven't been like, my life is about to change and I'm going to be riding a scooter everywhere. I hadn't even thought about it really.
Did you think you would have a car?
When we first got here, we got a driver and we kind of thought we'd keep that up. And I knew Patrick could already drive a scooter. So we had him to drive us around and we were 4 on a scooter. The kids were smaller at the time. So we kind of thought, if we had a driver to start off with, I thought that maybe would be how we got around because I heard lots of people did that. But then, I don't know, time went on and I'm quite impatient. I can't sit in a car.
Patient?
Impatient. Yeah, I'm not patient.
Yeah, me too.
So being in a car was just not an option long term. So yeah, adjusting to being on a scooter, huge. Definitely huge. Putting the kids on there. Yeah. Like you're on it every day. But it's very normal now.
Yeah.
3 years in.
Exactly.
It's daily life. It's part of normal life. But from friends and family back home, it's just such a foreign concept. Yeah. Not just you on the scooter, but like putting your kids on it. Whoever else on it. And yeah.
Like we're putting their lives in danger.
Yeah.
And it's not safe and it can be scary, but we don't go very far.
No.
On the scooters. It can be tiring with kids on it.
Yeah.
So we don't really take them that far.
No, and we don't either.
No. And we don't go fast.
Yeah.
So when we're saying we're driving scooters, what do we even go? Max 40, 50, maybe 50 kilometres an hour?
Yeah. And that's going fast.
And that's going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the traffic doesn't allow you to generally to be going that fast.
Yeah.
And like you said, the speed bumps and things. So
yes. And with the driving the scooters, like what are the rules like here compared to the UK?
There are not so many rules.
Yeah.
I think that you enforced that you need to adhere by, but driving in general is very calm.
Yes.
It's, you know,
it doesn't look it.
Yeah,
People
it looks
like it
chaos.
looks like chaos.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's a funny, it kind of flows, but then it kind of sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, when you're crossroads and everyone's trying to go at the same time.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that are impatient.
Be patient.
Let people just get in the way.
Yeah.
And like go in the lane they shouldn't be in.
So selfish.
Then nobody's, it's like a standstill. It's like a Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
No one is moving. So that's when the traffic builds and causes problems. But these are things you just get used to.
Yeah, exactly.
People generally let you go. I mean, I'm always letting people go. And, like,
me too. And especially cars. If there's traffic, I'll let cars go because they're blocking
need to get out of the way.
The traffic.
Yeah. But that's not everyone. We're different kind of people. Some people just are like, I need to get where I'm going. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
But
and these are because there's no traffic lights to stop. Like you go.
Yeah.
You don't go. You literally have to just read the traffic, know what you're doing, and let people go. And, and the honking. So a lot of people don't know here. Honking is a courtesy.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm overtaking you. Be careful. Don't turn.
I'm next to you.
Yeah. Whereas back in Australia, it's like road rage.
Yeah. You've done something wrong.
Yeah. I think it's so funny. So I saw actually, when I went back to Australia, I was in the car with my parents and we're in the car and they comment on the traffic or the people in the cars so much. Yeah. And I recently saw a funny video about Australians do that. Yeah. But I hadn't noticed it until it. And I was like, oh my God, they do. Yeah. They're like, oh, that guy, he's not letting me in. Or that guy's like going too fast. Yeah. They comment on everyone.
That is very like.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so funny.
That is so funny.
It was so funny. And they get like angry at people not letting them in. Whereas here, it's just kind of chill. I don't think there's much road rage.
Yeah.
Generally, it's from tourists or Western people that are maybe in a hurry.
Yeah, totally.
I don't really see any locals getting too angry.
No, I mean I've seen a few incidents where people have got annoyed, but not like people in the UK and Australia getting very frustrated with each other.
Yeah.
Like you're right. The commenting thing is hilarious.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I'm just listening to them like laughing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we do, don't we?"
Yeah. So what else? Is there anything else difference-wise?
Like the slowing, like going at a slower pace. What do you call it? The rubber time. What's the translation?
Jam correct.
Yes. Yeah. So just going at a slower pace. Yeah. I don't like being late. I still don't like being late. Yeah. Even though here you could be 20 minutes late and you're still early. Like.
Yes.
Right.
But I still like to be on time.
Yeah.
I like other people to be on time.
Yeah, same. I still message places if I'm 10 minutes late for a reservation or a booking. Maybe because, in Australia, you're late, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
I've always liked to be on time. But also the slower pace, getting served differently. Yeah. When you go into like a mini mart or, you're at the shopping centre or whatever, and they're doing your transaction, it's definitely slower.
Yeah, things are just a little bit slower, but that's just the nature of their life. They're not in a hurry,
and I'm trying to learn that better, to be more patient and to be slower. But I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Is that something that affects you?
Yeah, totally. I mean, where we've grown up and spent most of our lives, it's in that fast-paced kind of world.
Yeah, exactly.
Things happen quickly.
We expect Amazon deliveries the next day.
Yeah, we do expect a lot.
Yeah.
So it is like just chilling out a bit. And I think people think we're hilarious because we expect so much. And it's like, chill out.
I know. Yes. Yep.
So, yeah. But there's all of those things are definitely, the biggest differences here.
My old housekeeper, Made, she would always just be like, you look so stressed.
Oh, really?
You look so tired. You look so stressed. Oh. I was like, I am stressed. Yeah. She's like, don't be stressed. Just be happy.
Yeah. Well,
and I was like, thanks. Yeah. I love it. I'm
nice advice.
Yeah. And that is the thing, I think here. Difference is the smiling, the happiness. I feel like here it could be the vitamin D, the sun. Generally, Balinese people are happy.
Yeah.
People here, I feel like, are are quite friendly. I don't know, sometimes in Australia I don't necessarily feel that.
Yeah.
It's not as common.
Yeah.
Like even in a previous episode I said about coming into customs or coming into the airport, I feel like I've done something wrong, like I'm scared.
Yeah.
Coming to Bali, and everyone's just so friendly.
I feel like people are very consumed in their own lives and everything becomes quite stressful. Whereas here, people are a bit more relaxed, so it's not so stressful. But yeah, for sure. And they're coming here like just letting go of all that, control and chilling out a bit more. And because it runs on island time.
Yeah.
There is Bali time, and things will just operate a bit differently than you're used to. But it's kind of a great thing.
It's good for you, right? Not to have to be in control.
Yeah.
Or not feel like you should be in control of everything.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. And also like service and like customer service in restaurants and things. In general, it does run probably a bit slower, but maybe not everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, things, they can make mistakes because there is a language, barrier, the communication. And that's, it's down to the person that's speaking English, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. They shouldn't have to understand everything you're saying, but they try their very best.
Yeah. And I love that they repeat the orders.
Yes.
So I don't know, at first when I was first here, it was annoying. Like I ordered a coffee. You don't need to repeat it. You should just get it.
Yeah.
But now when I go anywhere else, I'm like, oh my God, please repeat my order.
Yeah, I love to know why. Make sure they get it right.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I love
and that's
it
their effort to making sure they have got it right.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else is like a big difference here?
Using WhatsApp for everything. I don't even I think it's getting a bit more used in Australia for maybe group chats, like friend group chat. But here, it's for everything. You book everything on it. Reservations for restaurants, getting your nails done.
No matter what, you just message
everything.
There's not really phone calls. Don't really happen a lot.
You do not get phone calls. Yeah. Like you're running late somewhere, you just message the restaurant. Like when I was in Australia recently, we were going out to a restaurant and we were going to be like 20 minutes late. And I was freaking out because it's Australia. They're not going to hold my booking.
Yeah.
And I had to put a deposit down. And I was like, I can't even just message them.
Right.
Yeah, because people in the service industry here, for most businesses, have someone that just handles WhatsApp messages.
Yeah.
Here, customer service, people get back to you very quickly.
Oh, super quick. Yeah.
I wanted a plant.
Yeah.
I got the plant a few hours later.
Yeah, it's crazy, really.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted teeth whitening stuff. Like I just randomly felt like getting them done. So I just WhatsApped them and they go-jacked it to me.
No way. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's the difference. Everything's, while some things are not convenient.
Yes.
It's like a lot, it very much is. You can get things so much quicker delivered to your house than anywhere else I've ever been. Like it's, but for me, like having your life on WhatsApp is exhausting.
It's overwhelming.
I'm kind of like, sometimes I just want to get rid of my phone, but then I'm like, how am I going to communicate and do anything if I don't have it? So I'm kind of just like sucked in. I don't know how to stop. But that's the way to arrange everything.
It's so bad.
So yeah, and I don't know, because we've been at the UK and Australia for a while. I don't know how much other businesses are, taking this on through WhatsApp as well.
Yeah.
Are there other?
I haven't seen it, especially not with, say, restaurants and bookings and stuff. I do know family now do a lot more group chats than they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, here we use it for like school group chats, social group chats. Oh my God, it's too much.
There are a lot of group chats going on.
But, even when I worked here, oh my gosh, I think I used to complain to you about it's like emails. So we would use it, whereas in Australia it would be emails. You could kind of turn it off and you wouldn't look at it for the weekend. But when I was using it for work here, when you're looking and open WhatsApp to even just check other messages, you'll see them all. So it's so overwhelming in that sense.
It is,
because you can silence them, but to get I don't know, my husband's calls to come through or messages to come through, I'm going to get the other ones. Yeah, so it's, that is overwhelming.
Yeah.
You still see it.
Yes.
But I do love it.
Yeah, it makes life convenient, but can be overwhelming. So mute things if you can sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
What else? I think like a big one here is obviously you were surrounded by expats, so people from all over the world are here. It's a huge mix of nationalities and languages. There's people speaking every language possible, I think, around. That is really nice. I mean, obviously, if you live in London, for example, there's a lot of that also. But here, there's a big expat community, and that's, I guess, a big, big difference. To other places.
Yeah, I mean, like we haven't really lived anywhere else, so I don't know about other expat communities. But here, we are in like a bubble.
Yeah.
It's almost like a small town,
right?
Like,
sure. Yeah, it is.
We know people from, like it's a small town where we are in Canggu and Umalas and stuff, obviously, with the kids' schools. And people have a lot of different communities, like French communities, Italian communities, and there's lots of different languages. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like in Australia, again, maybe because I wasn't surrounded by it, I still felt like a lot of people spoke English.
Yeah, and I think that'd be general for Australia.
Different.
Yeah.
And it's great for the kids to be around that, I think.
It is.
Seeing so many different cultures, customs, and yeah,
it is an amazing experience. And being on like an island, a tourist spot, you're obviously here like at nighttime. It can be, you're not used to like disruption, like with parties and things, and that can be like a Monday night, Tuesday night kind of thing. Whereas in my like hometown, I wouldn't be hearing house parties and like lights shows next to my villa. So that is a big difference. You know, we are a tourist spot. So you kind of have to expect that.
We have we're in a more of a residential area
where we live.
But how often do we have fireworks? Like a couple of times a week?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, fireworks go off all the time. But also this is, you know, just, unfortunately, tourists can come here and buy fireworks from the local shops. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's tourists or locals. I don't know if locals are setting off fireworks for no good reason or, you know, spending their money.
We're not allowed to in our area.
No, I don't think it's to anywhere.
Tourists. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure in Canggu you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a bit of an adjustment just with things like noise disturbance.
Scooters at night, like those really loud ones.
Yes.
There's one next door to us and it kills.
Oh, where is this? The one I hear constantly. Is it behind the other side? Behind your pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to get rid of it.
So would you say living here overall has like increased your productivity levels? Or have you slowed down? Like,
yeah, it's a tough one. I was to be honest, my husband and I had a conversation about this maybe a year ago where we didn't feel like we were being productive enough.
Yeah.
In Australia, we were very go. We worked a lot, which is why we're here, is to slow down. But we almost felt like we were slowing down too much and maybe we weren't as motivated anymore. But for us, I think it was just a mental shift.
Yeah.
So it was just a different way of being motivated back in the 9-to-5 grind. Yeah. It was working hard, I think. Whereas now we're just trying to learn to work smarter.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What about you?
I've definitely slowed down, like generally with just being able to relax and not feel so like in the rat race. And you kind of get to do more for yourself, which makes you like think slow down a bit. But then you also, I feel like in terms of productivity and wanting to do things, you feel like you can do them more. There is more, you feel like you have more time, and I feel more energized to do those things here.
Yeah. And why do you think that is? Like why couldn't you do that back in the UK?
One, the weather is more motivating here. If you live in the UK, it's quite grey most of the time. It's not the same for everyone. They might not feel the same way as I did, but it felt very indoors all day. There wasn't anywhere to go in the day. Where would you go? Especially if you have kids and young kids, you feel quite stuck. I just didn't feel energized to do anything. So yeah, the weather and just being surrounded by people that are doing cool things. Yeah. They're not going into their office job 9 to 5. Yeah. People are doing fun things, starting new businesses, got good ideas. Yeah. So that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. definitely surrounded by different people. And I think that's a big difference. Most people, even though COVID made a lot of people have a bit more flexibility, maybe not working in an office, but most people here are a lot more flexible because what they're doing, they've that's what they want. That's their priority. So they're prioritizing flexibility. And their work allows that. Exactly. What they're doing. So it's it's a different mindset, I think. Like you said, getting caught up in the rat race, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, where you feel like you have to keep up. Especially, for example, in Melbourne, there's a big, I think, the private school culture and keeping up with people with the houses and the stuff. Whereas here, for me, I love that I basically wear the same thing every day, shorts and a t-shirt. So I'm not dressing up. I'm not buying clothes. I'm not worried about designer stuff. I know everyone's different, but for me, that's my difference that I love in that sense.
Yeah, I would say like Australia and the UK are very much like, get the good car, have the big house, get your kids into private school.
And we kind of did that already. And
like you want to tick all those boxes. It feels a bit competitive.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, like, what are you doing wrong? And you're just striving, have the best clothes. Like, yeah. Whereas here, people have money. Like, people, if you've moved here, you probably have your own business because it gives you that freedom. But I wouldn't say there's no competition. I wouldn't say you ever feel like anyone's being flashy in the sense of the word.
Like, you literally will meet someone and have no idea what they do. You might not even talk about what you do for like the first half of your conversation. It might be like where they've lived and stuff, but you will find out later that they, I don't know, had shares in some big crypto thingy, or like, and they're quite
or they own all the restaurants on the island.
Oh, like, they might have
own a beach club. Like, you just don't realise, but people don't. No one's showing off, really. Not that I've noticed.
There's nothing really you can have to show off, I guess, which is again another great thing. And I think we have to touch on the fact that one of the biggest differences is cost here. The cost of living is one of the biggest differences as well. Go back to Australia and smashed avocado is, $25
Wild.
And here it's like $8. And we live maybe a bit more of a Western life because we go to restaurants and cafes. We don't necessarily eat at Wurrungs that much. But if you did, what are you going to pay? Like $1, $2 Australian for a meal?
The cost of living here is a big perk, and you can live a very comfortable lifestyle. So that's why people, I think, come here, because they know they can live well. And we kind of, live as, live like wealthy people it would come across. But you kind of, you can live like that for, a normal kind of salary. So like life is very good here. And I would say here you have much more time outdoors and time to socialize and be hanging out with your friends. And I love that most people here, they don't have that 9 to 5. So people have flexibility in their schedule. We can go for lunch, we can get a coffee, we can go to the gym, like we can do those things. And someone will always be around, which is what I love. I love that, because back home, trying to schedule in something with your friends, very difficult.
Very.
Doesn't happen.
Weeks, months.
Months and months, and then one of you cancels. And repeat. On cycle. So that's great, and we're doing things all the time. Like it's a weekly thing. And,
exactly.
I love it here because of that.
And why do you think that is? Like, I know it's obviously cost of living. It's cheaper for us to go out. Is it just the flexibility, or is it for me, like, the weather as well again? Like Melbourne, I think now with the daylight saving, it's dark and gloomy by like 5 o'clock. So no one's going out after work.
I would say it really depends what stage of life you're in and where you're living. When I lived in London and I was single, I would go out, it gets dark at like 3:30 in winter in the UK.
Really?
And light at 8 a.m. So your light hours are very small. So you learn to live with it. So people do go out to the pub still after work. They still are doing these things. But say when I was back in my hometown of Norwich and I had Bella, people, they're not doing things Monday to Friday so much. I mean, okay, very, very occasionally. People wouldn't invite you out on a a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You'd be doing things for the weekend. So it's very much living for the weekend culture.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I don't know what it's just
sometimes you don't know what day it is.
Yeah, it's just normal to go out in the week because you're not, I've got to be in the office at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Or
true.
You haven't got these.
And there's a lot of specials during the week, like special events.
Yeah, lots of things.
Yeah.
I don't tend to think what day it is.
Yeah.
To worry about I can't go out on this day because it's that kind of day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just nice. It's just that kind of environment.
Yeah.
And people want to go out and do things. And I don't know, because it is a small island, we are near, it's easy to get out. I don't know for you where you lived in Melbourne, how far you were away from the city, get in and get an Uber back and forth and spend that extra money. So that's an extra thing to think about.
Yeah.
And then also here, obviously, if you go out with your partner, you've got a nanny to come.
Yeah.
Whereas probably back home,
might have family,
but probably wouldn't ask the midweek. You don't be on a Saturday. You don't want to, do it too much.
Yeah.
So there's more scheduling involved.
Definitely.
But here is a bit more flexible.
Yeah. Speaking of help, I think that's another big difference. We, in Australia, we probably had a cleaner, I'm going to say, maybe once or twice a month to do a big clean.
Yeah.
And we had family with the kids. They were a lot younger, so I didn't really use help as much. But I know some friends in Australia will have an au pair or something. But again, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Here, I think that's another thing that allows us the flexibility is we have a housekeeper 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And she helps with the kids as well. She helps with cooking.
Yeah. Help is, I think, again, one of the biggest reasons people will come here as well, depending again what stage of life you're at. If you have kids, yes, it's a big pull to come here for sure. If you just coming here on your own as a young couple or on your own as a single person, you're probably not thinking too much about the staff or worrying about who's cleaning your house.
No, maybe.
I mean, it's a bonus, but it's probably not main thing. But for us having just taking that load off, because I think that's a big stress in the UK and Australia, having to worry about cleaning and you have to put aside time to do it. Here you don't need to. It's a reasonable price to have had to have a cleaner and to have someone there to help you out, and the same with having a nanny.
Yeah,
sometimes the same person, but it's a big help. Yeah, for sure. What else in terms of family and kids life would you say the differences are? Do you get more time with the kids than you would if you were back home? I mean, I know when you moved here, your kids were quite young, so they weren't in school per se. So it's hard to
Yeah. Do I spend more time with the kids? I don't know, but I'd say no because they're always on play dates and doing stuff. Annabelle never wants to hang out with me anymore, unless I'm working, and then she wants to hang out. But I don't know if I have more time. My mind has more time. I guess I feel like I'm more present when I'm with them. And I do miss playgrounds and parks from Australia. I think we're very lucky that we have beautiful parks and playgrounds. That's one thing.
Yeah, you do. Australia's great.
Yes, very different. Here, yes, we're outdoors, but again, it is hot. So they're probably, to be honest, not outdoors as much as I would like, and maybe not as much as if we were in Melbourne, to be honest. Yeah. They're sick of the beach. But again, they're probably going to be sick of a playground, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yes. So that's a big difference, not having those open spaces here.
Yeah, so they don't have that
miss,
here.
Yeah. We live in a pretty congested area.
Yeah, for Australia, you have lots of open spaces and it's very pretty and you feel like you've got a lot of fresh air, I would say. UK, similar. It's the same kind of thing. My kids do miss parks and playgrounds and, jumping on their scooter and taking it around. Yeah. So that, I would say it's not a bad thing that we don't have it. I bet the kids do miss it, but
just a difference.
Yeah, it's just a difference. Yeah, for sure.
But on the back end, they have a lot of options for after school activities because we have extra help. Well, some people have extra help. We can do a lot more play dates. I think they do a lot of play
I
dates.
feel like they do a lot of stuff, but I
don't think we would do that in Australia because I don't always want to go.
No, it'd be busy. Yeah.
Whereas the nanny can take them.
If
they want.
If you have one.
Yeah. The schooling here, I think, is another big difference. I feel like it's a lot more flexible. There's a lot of more options.
Yeah. I mean, obviously homeschooling is quite popular and a good place to do it if you're, you don't know how long you're going to be in Bali. So lots of people homeschool. There's obviously other schooling options like the green school.
Yeah.
Again, very, very popular here. Lots of people move to Bali just for the green school.
Yeah.
More outdoor hands-on learning environment.
Yeah.
Then your standard school.
Yeah. Empathy school.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways of learning, whereas I feel like still in Australia, like I think it's getting better, but it's still very regulated.
Yeah.
Like
this is the school system.
This is the system and it's never going to change and it needs to change.
Yeah.
Also, we can take, I think we can, I don't know, maybe when the kids get older, we won't be able to take them out of school as much.
Oh, yeah, it's very
but
flexible here. You don't get fined for taking kids out of school.
Whereas in Australia, I think you can only do it a few times. That's why everyone goes during school holidays.
Yes.
Whereas here, we're always taking them away for weekends away.
Yeah. And obviously, like, you don't want to overdo it. You do want to keep to the kids' schedule and things, but you can. It's flexible. You don't feel penalised for taking them out. And I think the schools here encourage, like, seeing the world, go to this amazing place and report back to us. Tell us what you did there. So, yeah, that's definitely different. Yeah, for sure. And then the school... So the difference with schools, the school years run the same as in Australia?
No. So we work off the UK system, right? Yes. So in Australia, we would start in like end of Jan, start of Feb. Here, we start in August.
Yes. Yeah. So very like the UK. UK tends to start September. So it's kind of a month shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it runs the same.
So Annabelle started prep like maybe 4 months earlier than she would have. Maybe 4 months, 6 months earlier than she would have in Australia.
Yeah. In terms of private schools in Australia, I think it's the case that you have when you have your baby, you need to put them down on the list. Is that right?
Yeah.
To get a space?
Yes.
That's wild.
I know. So when our kids were born, I mean, that's not everyone's choice, but as soon as they were born, we had to put their name down. I got an email the other day. I think I have to pay tuition. I think I have to pay down a deposit for Sophia to go to school in like 3 years' time.
Oh.
Or 2 years' time when she's going to start school. Yeah, they're already going through the applications. Now for her to start in 2 or 3 years.
Wait, she's not, what?
She's not going. Like, I just deferred it. But you have to pay an application fee when you first put their name down. So I'm like, I'll just hold it. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we'll ever end up there, but you never know. But yeah, so you have to put their name down quite early. Also, I don't know about the UK, but for like schools, you need to live in like the catchment zone.
Yeah, same.
So so where you live is based on the school that you go to. Whereas here, I think some schools you do still need to put your name down and maybe you have to wait.
Yeah, there are some waiting lists. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But mostly, I mean, the schools, they're going to be a good school for your child and you're going to get in.
Yeah.
There's many options. Yeah.
And pricing is cheaper than a private school in UK, Australia, but it's still a cost because you could send them to a public school where it's cheaper or free.
Yeah. So you do have to pay here.
Yeah.
That is.
Yes.
That's right. They can't go, I believe they can't go to a local school. Yeah, you have to go to a international school. Yeah. Would you ever do homeschooling?
If I was the teacher, no. No. Patrick has talked about it with me, suggesting that we do it at some point. More so for the cost saving. Yeah. Not for like the reality of it, I think.
For you to do it or for you to organise?
I don't know. So I think he probably thought me, but not happening.
I could see you doing it with Bella. I feel like she would listen to you. Would she?
I don't know.
No way Annabelle would listen to me. Yeah, try and teach her stuff.
No,
nah.
Bailey would not be sitting down. But I don't know. It's not something I think I want to do. I don't have the capacity and the patience.
Yeah, true.
So I put my trust in a teacher.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, what about food, eating out? What are some differences?
I'd say here you're getting lots of fresh fruit, vegetables are readily available around everywhere. You will find them. There's lots of plant-based options, veggie options, things you can get. Lots of health food stores, organic store. But then, this is the same as UK and Australia, right? They have all this, fresh local ingredients readily available. Well, I guess lots of things are imported to certain countries. But again, things are imported here. I don't know about you, but I think you also get like frozen berries.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't know, you don't really get blueberries anywhere.
No,
they're
you
not
can't get
frozen.
blueberries.
So they come in frozen. So, but here they cater to everybody's diet very, very well, I would say. Would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so, definitely.
Yeah.
So many different options.
Yeah.
Vegan, vegetarian, paleo.
The food scene is like vibrant and happening, and there's some great places around. I think it's probably the same as in Australia. Isn't Australia pretty good?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't know about health consciousness. I mean, apparently we're one of the most obese countries.
Oh, okay.
Like 42% of our population are obese.
Yeah. Is that area-wise, though? I would assume it's not like...
Well, off Australia, right?
Yeah.
But it's because healthy food is generally expensive in Australia.
Yes,
healthy options are expensive. Whereas I feel like here, it's not so much.
Yeah.
It's not as expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
It's more accessible.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, totally.
It's easier to be healthy.
It is easier to be healthy. It is very easy to be healthy. And I think it's cheaper to be healthy.
Yeah.
With like the UK and Australia, fast food is quite easy to get. I would say the thing I noticed about Australia is there's a McDonald's on every service station and people are driving around a lot. So they're grabbing food quickly.
Yeah.
Fast food is consumed a lot more.
Yeah.
It's the same in the UK. People are grabbing a McDonald's on the way home from work or they're going on a road trip, McDonald's.
Whereas we have Gojek.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Gojek, I think, is probably a big thing for food delivery. It's amazing. It's cheap. It's like $1 to $2 to get food delivered from anywhere in your area. And we're talking like healthy food. We're talking about anything, right?
Yeah, totally.
And it doesn't take long.
No. It's not like Uber where it does take a bit, I don't know, the process seems a bit longer. Whereas Gojek, it feels like it gets to you quickly.
Yeah.
Convenience, very, very convenient when someone's bringing it on a bike to you for very cheap.
Yeah. So do you cook much or do you use a lot of Gojek delivery?
We do a huge mix and it depends week to week what's happening and what our diary is looking like. I cook for the kids most nights and like try and prep. For us, we do some of the healthy like meal ordering services. They make it fresh and deliver. I know you do some of that also. So we do that a lot. But then I will order or Gojek some food sometimes if, I haven't organised things in time. It's the weekend, we'll order stuff. A lot of my lunches I order. Quite bad and lazy, but I try healthy choices always. So it's a bit of a mix, but I do rely on Gojek to get food.
Yeah.
What about you in terms of food?
Similar. So probably Gojek at maybe 3 nights a week. Yeah, definitely weekends. Yeah, probably. I try and cook for the kids most nights. We've just started getting our nanny to do some cooking, actually. She's so good and I don't know why we didn't do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So there are options where you can actually have your own private chef. Yeah. So I know like a friend has a chef and he does her lunches and dinners to her macros.
Yeah, okay.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We did have a chef for a month and I think I've said we've put on like 3 kilos because he was very, very good. Yeah. Everything had lots of butter and oil and it was like restaurant quality food. Yeah. But not sustainable.
Yeah, and you do have to be mindful. When we've had people cooking for us, the extra things they put in there to make it delicious. Yeah. I was starting to question that. So you do just, yeah. And when you say chef, for us, when we had people cooking for us, it was more of like an Indonesian woman that was cooking.
Oh, no.
Rather, you had a proper chef?
Yeah. He was like
so there's a mixed bag. Yeah. You can get,
all great. Yeah, I know, it's great.
Yeah.
What else do we do for dinners? I miss actually. So at the start, I didn't mind not cooking. Now I kind of want to cook more.
Yeah.
It is hot though.
Oh,
so
this
it
is the biggest
is
thing.
hard. Like not hard, but it's draining to cook. Like you don't want to do it. Some places don't have ovens. Some places don't have stovetops. I miss HelloFresh in Australia. Did you ever use it?
Yeah, we have that in the UK too.
Oh, I miss it. You don't have to think about what you're going to have that night. All the ingredients get delivered and you just cook it. And that's, I love it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. They should have something like that here, really.
Yeah. The other thing is if you're cooking here, you have to go to like 3 or 4 shops to get the ingredients.
Yeah.
And if you're cooking like a Western meal, it's very expensive.
Yeah, true.
So like I think I did tacos or burritos and it probably cost me like $20-25.
Yeah.
Probably just gone out for half that.
Yeah, exactly. So... yeah. You have to go to many supermarkets on shops, to get what you need. That's a huge difference.
What about like shopping, clothes shopping?
Clothes shopping.
Yeah. For any kind of shopping, I guess.
Oh, clothes shopping I find so hard here. They do have, the malls are pretty well kitted out with high street stores that you might find back home, like H&M, Zara, Uniqlo is here, Mango. They are there. You do have to go to the malls around Kuta to get those things. In this area where we live, kind of around the Canggu area itself, there's lots of boutiques, great, and they're all lovely. Are on the more expensive side.
Yeah.
For what you think it should be, I guess, in Bali. It depends where you go. You can find different things if you look around. But on the whole, I don't tend to buy from, the boutiques around here. Some of them.
Yeah.
But, they can be expensive. And you can also, I would say you can get things delivered still from H&M and Zara. You can get to your home. It takes longer than it would probably somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I generally save my proper shopping, clothes shopping back home in the UK.
Same.
But you can get things here.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not here, but it's just not as convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's necessarily like the H&M and the Zara. I don't feel like it really changes. Like the clothes don't change. Or...
Yeah. I find you go in there and it's a lot of winter clothes most of the time.
Or corporate.
Yeah, and that's not what you need.
We're not... Like, it's like, I don't know, are you catering to tourists?
Yeah, I sometimes wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, love going back to Australia, to Kmart.
Yeah. And I guess it's just familiar when you go home. You know how how everything runs and what you're looking for.
And to be honest, it's for a lot of things, it's cheaper in Australia.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising. So for kids' shoes and clothes, I find is much cheaper in Australia and better quality, I should say.
Yes.
I'm sure there's lots of cheap clothes here.
Yeah.
But the quality and like you can get shoes for $5.
Yeah.
Or,
true. There are some like cheap stores you can grab them. Yeah.
In Australia, so we always get a lot of the kids stuff.
Yeah.
There. Toys here are very expensive.
Yeah. Everything's got a markup.
It's imported.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like the cheap plasticky stuff.
Yeah, the stores here, everything is more expensive because we are an island and they're importing everything here, so the prices are more expensive than you would find back home.
Yeah. And we have Shopee and Tokopedia here, which is like our online, I guess like Amazon.
Yeah, it's like an Amazon.
Yeah. So you can get everything, like anything from within Indonesia. I mean, and Malaysia and stuff, but I think it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Because when you do buy stuff from outside of Indonesia, we get taxed quite heavily.
Yeah.
So, and I think we've talked about it before, but their tax is just whatever they feel like on the day. So it could be 40% of the retail price of what you have bought, or it could be 10%.
Surely there's some science to it.
I don't know. Maybe there is.
It feels that way.
But yes, but Shopee and Tokopedia is pretty good, I think. And it comes pretty quick.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Within a week.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Some things come very quickly. So these things are all like differences, but they're not like, I wouldn't say they're bad things. People tend to moan about the adjustments, like, they don't get Amazon next day delivery, but it just becomes part of your everyday life and it's pretty normal and that's just how things work.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. What about in general, like community and social life here? Like overall, what are the differences? How are things here?
I think as we touched on, I feel like I'm definitely more social here. Again, the flexibility, having help, cost of living, and having friends that are in the same position. So people want to connect, people want to meet up. And I think that's the biggest difference, which is fantastic.
Yeah, totally. And you don't, like we said before, you don't have to schedule things weeks in advance. You don't have to just go out on the weekend. So, and I think relying on someone, are their parents available to babysit? Whereas here, you're like, just message your nanny, get them to organise the babysitter. People have more flexibility. What would you say is like when people go out, where are they going? Is it bars and restaurants?
Yeah.
Is it the same as back home?
No. And I do miss like a house party. I don't think we have as many house parties here unless it's maybe more of a kids party. Back home we would do barbecues and maybe the pub.
Do people do barbecues here?
I think some people do. Again, not as much. Here, what are we doing? We're going to restaurants. We're going to beach clubs. Probably the main ones, right? Restaurants, beach clubs, cafes.
Beach clubs is a great one.
God,
I'd trade that for anything.
Me too.
Being able to do that is a luxury.
Right. What would you do in the UK?
In the UK, it would be like going to the pub. Going to the pub.
Do you love
going to the pub? I do miss a British pub. Oh my God, it's just the best. There is a pub here, isn't there? What's it called? The Barn in Canggu. I mean, it doesn't look like any kind of British pub you've ever been in.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's very big.
Not
quite got the feel of a British pub. But
is it meant to be?
Well, it's called the Barn and it's supposed to be a British pub. But
Limerick, is it Limerick Arms near us? I think it's meant to be
an Irish
pub.
Don't know that one.
I haven't been
though. It would, pubs and bars and restaurants. Same thing. But here is great. The social scene is great. All right. So what about health and wellness? Huge one here. Is it also big in Australia? How does it differ?
I think it's getting, maybe Australia are ramping up on some of the things that I feel like we've been doing for a while. So like ice baths, saunas, wellness centres. When I lived in Australia, maybe because I had young kids and I wasn't what I was thinking about, but it wasn't around as much, or they were very expensive. Whereas here, wellness and health is a big thing, I think, in Bali, and it's, again, affordable. Mostly. I mean, gyms are still very expensive.
They are,
but I'm sure they are expensive in the Western world as well now. I don't know.
Cheap gyms back in the UK. Pretty reasonable. Cheaper than Bali, I would say.
Yes, okay, probably cheaper. But we also have, like, most of them have saunas, pools, ice bath. Paddle is a big thing here. I feel like it's only just getting big in Australia. And again, that's another big social aspect of here. We talked about the healthy food. Then there's a lot of the spiritual stuff, right? So a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga, which are great.
Lots of kind of thing, breath work and it's very, very common and it's part of the everyday life here. It's very normal to ask people about what they do in terms of that wellness and spirituality. Which is really, really nice. And it's just, I don't know, it's just part of the Balinese culture, I think. And
maybe something every day that you could do on that aspect.
So living in Bali is very wellness focused. I know that you can easily get things from the pharmacy compared to UK or Australia. It's quite prescription heavy. You need to go to the doctor to get something. But here, you can just go to the pharmacy and ask for the antibiotic or the I don't know, whatever else you need.
You can get most things over the counter, right?
Counter. They don't ask any questions. You can just buy it normally for a reasonable price.
Have you noticed? Have they starting to change the antibiotic thing?
What do you mean?
So I needed antibiotics a few weeks ago, and I just asked Joe to get it when it was out, and they're like, "Oh, we need a prescription."
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I went somewhere else where I normally go, and they're like, "Oh, we just need your name and address.
Oh, okay.
You should have a prescription."
Oh, okay.
I was like, "That's good," because I do find here they overprescribe antibiotics for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
interesting.
kind of a good thing.
I've not noticed that yet.
Yeah,
but interesting.
Keep an eye out, see if they are.
Yeah, convenience in that respect is, I guess, it feels good when you're living here. It's a good thing that you can just go and get it yourself.
Yeah,
bit of self-prescribing.
Yeah,
and I'd say like in the UK, like getting an appointment with a doctor is quite a hard task from what I understand.
Yeah,
seeing specialists can take months, years, who knows, a long waiting list for everything.
Yeah,
whereas here you can go and see a GP probably the same day. You'll find one somewhere that you can go see.
They can even come to you.
Yeah. And hospitals, if you want to see a specialist, you know, it can be that same week. You know, so it's very quick to see these people, which is a huge difference.
Yes.
Would you still maybe want a second opinion after seeing someone here compared to where you're from, like Australia or the UK, potentially, just to be sure, but still it's easy and readily available. So that was a big difference.
Yeah. What about price of health? Like private, did you say you have it, is it free in the UK for health insurance? Yeah,
the NHS,
But then you're just got to do the whole wait list thing.
You would be on a wait list,
Do you have private health there? Option of private health?
You can. People pay for it. There are private health options.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that does it, I don't think. It's not something we were, brought up in that kind of environment and culture that people did that. The NHS was a good service, and I'm not sure whether it is now and how it's functioning, but most people rely on the NHS with a free service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because we had private health. I mean, the price is what the price is, I guess. But I think it's the same here for our health insurance.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of on par.
Yeah. And your health
Okay.
insurance you have here, is it for everything? Because some people's is for like doctor visits. Ours is just for like emergency. Is yours the same?
Just kind of, emergencies or hospital visits.
Where you are an inpatient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, don't go to the doctor, go to the hospital for treatment.
Yeah.
People get money.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So we still have to pay for everything else. But again, it's cheaper.
Yeah, totally. And then also same with kind of dentists. Things are cheaper here.
Yeah.
I do notice though that the popular ones do have wait lists. Like you can't get an appointment that week with Sunset Dental. I went. The appointment had to be like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. So yeah. So overall here in Bali, what would you say you've gained living here compared to Australia?
What have I gained? Time.
Yeah.
Definitely time. Flexibility. Meeting different people. There's so many different cultures and diversity that I guess I haven't really been around. Like I guess I grew up in a kind of small countryish town in Australia. I wasn't really surrounded, I guess, by a lot of diversity, and I love that here. I'm learning so much about different cultures and how it's different to mine. It's funny. Sometimes I really enjoy meeting up with another Australian just to get maybe my humour.
Yeah, totally.
Everyone has a different thing, and so it's nice to just have a funny banter with, like, I'm sure banter with someone from the UK.
Yeah,
right?
It's nothing quite the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yes, but I do love learning different cultures. My mindset is so much better being around similar people. Yeah. What about you?
I would say the biggest thing is friends, like gaining some amazing friends since moving here. Like when you get to like in your 30s, you're not thinking about like making loads of new friends. Feel like you kind of think you're doing that when you're younger, but like I made some amazing friends that are so like-minded. Whereas, I have some great friends back home, but you evolve and you change as you grow up.
Yeah.
And then you're now this person that lives in Bali and has this different way of thinking. So yeah, for me, it's amazing friendships. So many good friendships here. So I feel very blessed to have that.
Oh, that's
good. And just more balance and free time, more me time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. More me time.
Yeah.
What do you miss? Is there things that you do miss?
Probably just having family close by, being able to pop round, see my mum or my brother.
Yeah,
miss that for sure. It's just nice, isn't it, be able to just see your family and have a chit chat and offload.
Yeah.
So I definitely miss that. And then just probably in general more infrastructure structure and things working a bit more smoothly, for sure. But it's not a huge thing. You just adjust, I think, living. Yeah. It's an adjustment.
I reckon maybe talk to us 2 years ago it might have been a bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
Now.
Yeah. The longer you're here, the more you adjust.
Yeah.
And it becomes your way of life, and that just is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you miss?
Other than family, I miss the supermarkets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love the supermarkets in Australia. They're amazing. Yeah. All the snacks and everything. I think another thing here is Indonesians love sugar and oil, and it's in a lot of things. So for kids' snacks or pre-made snacks, I guess, is really challenging.
Yeah.
But you go into the supermarkets in Australia and there's just so much. Yeah. So many options.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So
it's amazing, and they're so pretty.
Yeah, I do love a supermarket shop back home. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do you have any last tips for anyone thinking of making the move?
Be patient. I think is the biggest thing, and kind of be open to experiences here, being open to meeting people, learning the culture, and slowing down. I wish I could slow down more. I think that would make me less stressed. Yeah. And enjoy the moment a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
You?
I would just say just to do it. Like, take that leap of faith and do it. Like, you will be fine. Yeah. So many of us have done it. There is a great community here, and you won't be alone. Yeah.
And a lot of people do come and they don't like it. Yeah. And they go back.
Try things. Yeah. Take that risk. Yeah. So what if it doesn't work out?
6 months.
Yeah. What an amazing experience.
Yeah.